I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Bariatric Banter Podcast. Woo,
27.
27.
Love it.
I know, that's amazing. That is my birthday, so I really do love the number 27.
I also have to say, I love our new shorter format.
Okay, so the shorter format's really growing on me, so I really hope you guys like it too.
I didn't think we could do it.
I didn't either. And we will do a longer, like we said, every month or maybe every 2 months, we'll do a really long version.
Yeah.
But I think the version that's going to be long will be answering questions.
Yes.
Or I've had an idea. We do a debate where you and I pick 3 hot topics that we don't agree on.
Oh, that's good.
And we debate it for an hour and
Done.
a bit.
Yep. Or a guest.
A guest. Yeah. We are trying to line up a guest right now. We're going to keep it secret for a minute. But we are trying to line up a guest for a really cool, interesting topic that I personally have a lot of questions on. So it would be great to have someone to answer my questions. But for the 27th episode, we're going to talk about, I say this every time, a cool topic. But we're going to talk about something that came up from one of our listeners who said, I would love to know what you guys think is essential things to have after surgery.
Yeah.
And I hilariously said to Steph, we already talked about that. And she rightfully pointed out, we talked about the food that we think is essential, but we literally never talked about non-food items that are essential. No. And I was like, oh my God, the list is a mile long.
We talked about immediate post-op essentials. We talked about hospital essentials, but we never talked about post-bariatric life essentials, things that we use every day.
Yeah, non-food related items.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, that's actually a really good topic because I don't think I even talk about that socially enough that there are definitely things that I have seen, bought, invested in because I was like, this is great as a bariatric patient. I absolutely need this. And so, for episode 27, we're going to talk about those essential items that we've literally purchased after bariatric surgery, not food related. And honestly, I think sometimes I subconsciously didn't even realize I bought this because of bariatric surgery. Yeah. And it's just been a huge plus in my life.
Or just something that you use all the time now that you never thought of.
That I've never used before.
One thing that I laughed about the other day, I was at the cottage and we had people over and we were all having dinner and all the plates were out and I kind of stood there for a minute and I looked at the paper plates and my mom kind of looked at me and I was like, these plates are too big. And everyone was like, what? I now use baby plates. Little kid, I use my kids' toddler plates.
Yeah.
Because we don't eat that much. I also bought a really cool, we have a really neat flower gift shop in town where I live.
Oh, see, I love
and
those.
Yeah, it's just this little small town shop. And they had these really pretty little, almost like side plates. But they were all painted and they just had really cool patterns and stuff. So I bought myself a fancy little mini side plate that I use as my plate, but then I also use kids plastic, like those, you've all seen them, those bright neon colored plastic plates. I use those because we don't eat a full plate worth.
We do not.
And a lot of this, especially the beginning, it's a mental mindfuck. And so
Holy Christ.
If you put a tiny little bit of food on, I use the divided plates too.
Yeah, okay.
If you put a tiny amount of food on a big plate, you're immediately feeling deprived. Even though you haven't started to eat yet, you immediately look at this and go, well, shit, that's all I get. And you're also going to put more on the plate because you have this thing that the plate needs to be full. So if you use a smaller plate, the amount of food you're eating will fill up that plate. You will immediately think you're getting a lot of food. You'll immediately feel satiated. You can load that plate up. It'll look like a super full plate of food, but it's the size of the palm of my hand. And so especially at the very beginning of the post-surgery phase, that little plate came in so handy for me because it was minuscule amounts of food that I was eating. So that is something that it looks really funny because I'll lay out the family's plates for dinner, and Devin will have his big plate. The kids will have their normal plates. And then there'll be this toddler plate. And you look around, you're like, who's this for? It's mine.
9-inch plates. And that's what I needed to look up because I was like, I can't think of the size.
They're these teeny little toddler plates.
Yeah, the little 9-inch plates.
And then I use a small fork. I use like a kid fork.
Oh, yeah. Also. No, I still use like a Trident-sized Poseidon blank fork. I can't help it.
Oh, I need the
fork. Like the further away from my food I am, the better. Yep. But I agree with you on the little plate thing. And so, yeah, there's 9-inch plates. You can because I looked it up for you guys. You can go on Amazon, and if you use the search term portion plates, that's going to bring up a ton for you to choose from. And most people use the dinner plate set of 5, 9-inch. It comes pre-divided, and it's just an easy way to be like, obviously your protein goes in the biggest one, and then your carbs and your veggies go in the other two.
I actually think my toddler plate is smaller than that. My kids use the divided plates.
Okay.
If you search on Amazon for like toddler
size,
plates,
okay.
You'll see them right away. They're neon. They're like hot pink, hot purple, yellow, green. They're plastic.
Okay.
And that's what I use.
Nice.
Like it's literally the plates my kids used when they started to eat solid foods.
Which, like, there's nothing wrong with that. And like, I have to point out, there's some really cute ones on
here.
The
divided plates are great, especially for like, okay, I need this much protein, I need this much carb, I need this much veggie. They're a really good visual.
There's some really cute little like ceramic ones with flowers and stuff on it. So
and then you make it fun, right? Yeah. Like your plate
you enjoy.
Is small. Yes, but look how cool and fun. And it becomes your special plate. And that's what that little floral side, it's like a tea saucer plate.
Yes. Appetizer plates.
Yeah. Fresh out of post-op, I loved it because that was my special plate and it was only mine. And it's made such a difference. Yeah, at the cottage, trying to put my food on this normal average size paper plate, number one, looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I noticed that I immediately put too much food on my plate and I couldn't finish it.
Like there's been psychological studies 100%. About this, that the reason Americans, and sorry, I say Americans because the study was done in America, but the reason that Americans have such big portion sizes is because dinner plates have like tripled in size.
Oh my gosh.
Because
crazy.
You have these big giant plates and there's just this psychological phenomenon of needing to fill your plate. And like, here's a history lesson, folks. It comes from the Great Depression, from when they didn't have anything to after like finally finding being prosperous and having enough, they would fill their plate because they had lived through such hardship where they could barely eat anything. So it's kind of like been inbred over a few generations that you must fill your plate. You must eat everything on your plate. And you'll hear my mom say all the time to me, well, Hannah, that's how we were raised, that you didn't leave that table till that plate was empty. Plate. And then also you didn't make your own plate. Your mother would make your plate and give it to you, right? And like, there's also a big cultural thing about that. Make my plate, and I think it's very big in the African American community, but it's, there's a cultural tie to that to show love, you make someone a plate, you fill that food on that plate and give it to them. And that's, there's a connection there. So there's just a lot of generational things that you don't realize. And my mom's gotten really good now with being like, you can load your own food, Hannah. And I was like, see, if people are hungry, they can get seconds.
Yeah, but they can help themselves.
We used to overload it. So I do what you did. I didn't get the divided ones, but actually, I'm not going to lie. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Cuddly, if you look up Cuddly Hippo kids plastic dinnerware on Amazon, those are the little plates and bowls that I use.
Or there's one called Dr. Brown's divided plates, and it's a 3-pack. It's like $6. So there you go, guys. We're plugging Amazon ahead of, go nuts, have fun. We don't like them. We're not sponsored by them.
Special and fun that's just yours.
I think I'm going to make some divided plates at Pottery because I love a set of ceramic ones, but I bought appetizer plates. So a big staple for me was I love thrifting. Oh, and like I really like some of the sets at Indigo.
Yeah.
But I went out of my way for these great appetizer plates that Indigo had. And appetizer plates, that's the size that you're looking for. They're side plates, they're appetizer plates, toddler plates, whatever you want to call them.
Bread plates.
Whatever. Yeah. If you want something a little more fancy than the divided plates for, having people over, look for appetizer plates. My cupboard is now full of appetizer plates. I have little flower ones. I have, black ones, white ones, all different colors. I keep normal plates for when I have like regular people come to the house. So I'm not like, here's your serving size on your appetizer plate.
5.
But I eat off appetizer plates because to your point, even when I'm at home and my mom puts the regular plates out, like there's just this notion of adding too much to it. And I will have to put some food back and she'll go, oh, come on. And I go, this is a huge plate. I don't think you realize.
It almost makes me like panic and nervous when I see a full size plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you will fill it. Just so, okay, yeah, great.
Yep.
One of the big staples that we both agree on is some sort of little plate that's yours. And I'm going to get some divided ones because I really like that idea. But I loved finding cute appetizer plates.
Yeah.
Like now it is my thing when I go out. And it's not just the plates. I look for little like dip bowls, and those are my new bowls. Yeah, ramekins. I have
use
so
ramekins
many
a lot.
ramekins.
Oh God, me too.
So many ramekins.
Plastic
Load up
and
on the ramekins.
Yep.
Costco has a great 6-pack of these cute little like ramekin bowls that I recommend. But yeah, I look for appetizer plates, appetizer bowls, dipping bowls, serving bowls. Like I love having different little tiny bowls because you need them. Some other staples. I definitely got those yogurt cups again off Amazon. I promise you we're not sponsored by Amazon. Maybe we'll start a list though, just to make it easy. We'll put some of our favorite items on a list on Instagram.
With a list of all of our stuff.
Yeah, so that you can easily find it. But I buy the yogurt cups because I don't want my granola going soggy, and I use like the Fiber One cereal or the Catalina Crunch cereal because I need the protein or whatever. But I love the little yogurt cups, and you can actually get like this is hilarious, child size yogurt cups.
Perfect.
And those are perfect because if you order the big size ones, you're like, this is such a waste of space.
Yeah.
I get the little child size ones because I do like to pre-portion my yogurt because I get the big tub of yogurt now and I pre-portion it and I add my berries and my bananas and whatever. So that one has become essential.
That's a good one.
This one
I've never looked at those.
is essential in my mind. Not a milk frother, but like a frother. Like a frother.
Like the handheld one, you mean?
The handheld, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm not talking about the one that goes with the Nespresso and you like froth it up. I'm talking about that little handheld whisk, the that thing. Get a good one.
Yes.
The amount that I've blown through because I cheap out and get shitty ones,
a new one.
and they don't handle protein well because it's too thick. I have a super nice and expensive one, and by expensive I mean I paid $20 for this one. Like high powered little hand whisk thing. I use it not only for my coffee, but I use it for all my protein powder because you have to blend protein powder.
Yes.
And I don't want to whip out my friggin' blender to whip up a little bit of protein powder. I don't like pulling my blender out for shit like that. So I had to get a heavy duty frother because when you're making powdered protein, you need to mix it with hot water and then froth it the crap up. Then go ahead and add it to whatever you want to add it to. But I then also use it for my powdered Gatorade because I find that it doesn't mix well unless you froth it up. I've actually used it for everything now.
I use it. It's on my counter and it's constant.
Probably 6 or 7 times a day I use that thing.
I need to get a better one because I'm guilty for buying the cheap ones and then
they suck.
They suck. And by the time I keep replacing them, I
paid like $50.
Right?
Total bullshit.
I don't know why I'm so cheap.
I know. You know what I said to my mom? Hey, for my birthday,
that's a good idea.
Get me the Cadillac of like milk frothers. And she was like, okay. And I was like, I also don't know where to look. So that's why I'm telling you to go find it.
You figure it out for me.
I don't know where to find a good one.
I do need to get it.
She got me one at Christmas and I was like, it's broken already. She was like, oh. And I was like, that's not you. They're shit.
They are.
So like find me like a titanium stainless steel.
Yeah.
Like go follow one of those rich people on Instagram see what they use and get me one of those.
I love it.
But it goes hand in hand with what I just ordered. Oh. So my milk frother's driving me nuts. And I don't like using the blender for stuff because a blender's great, guys, but we don't eat big enough portion sizes. And the amount of cleanup required in using my friggin' blender for stupid shit drives me nuts.
It also doesn't blend. I find it doesn't blend properly because, like you said, we don't put enough in.
We don't.
So it doesn't mix properly. Like I make Devin a smoothie for lunch every day and it's fine. But then the other day I was like, I could go for, I forget what I put in there. But yeah, it didn't blend properly because it was like 2 inches high on the bottom. And I was like, well, this is like stupid.
Because it's like add liquid. And I'm like, I can't add liquid. Right. It's like, I don't want to whip up this cottage cheese. And I'm like, whip up the cottage cheese.
That's what I was doing. I was whipping and it wouldn't whip because I didn't put enough in.
With cottage cheese, by the way. Now, should I get a Vitamix or a Ninja and it's better? Yeah. But again, I'm not spending $700 on a blender that I use 5 times a year.
No.
So what I am buying, and I think it will become my new essential bariatric tool, is what they call like a hand mixer. Cuisinart specifically. No, not Cuisinart. What's that other good kitchen brand? Bosch or Bosch? Bosch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the speaker
like
guys. Braun.
Oh, we call those boat motors. I have one of those. Okay. They're awesome.
So it's basically a hand blender.
Immersion blender.
It's like an immersion blender, but this comes with the immersion blender attachment, a whisk attachment, a food processor attachment,
perfect,
and then a big tall like cup that you blend or whip everything in.
Yeah.
So I'll post a picture because there's going to be people being like, what are you talking about?
Blending soups.
Blending soup, making cottage cheese, chopping my vegetables, whipping my protein, whipping other things.
Yep.
This is going to be way more essential to me than a blender because, again, cleaning the blender's a nightmare too. And this is perfect for my serving sizes. This is going to be way easier. I was making the carrot cake from Andy Hayes, and part of it was Greek yogurt, a little bit of cream cheese, and you had to whip it. And I went,
what the heck do I use?
I'm not putting that in the blender, and I don't have an electric beater because I don't know. I guess I'm just an idiot. But I was like, well, also that's annoying. Taking out the electric beater to put in a bowl to whip it and then have to clean. So I went, that's it. I'm ordering this.
That's great for post-surgery too, because one of the things that I did a lot in the puree stage is I roasted vegetables and then blended them into like a thick soup.
Yes.
So like think like butternut squash soup, but even a little bit thicker. And I immersion blended, and they're so handy.
Ding, ding, ding.
So handy.
Yeah. So I'll post a picture of this one, but I think this hand blender with all the attachments, like the wand, the beaker, the whisk, the food processor.
Awesome.
It's way cheaper than a blender. And I think it's going to go way further in my bariatric journey. So that is one that I haven't used yet, but I'm pretty positive and confident to tell everybody
totally will.
This will become an essential item for me.
Yep. Agreed.
The other one that I'm going to say is essential, and Steph's going to love this because I know she wants one. The Ninja Creami. Get out there right now and buy it. If you're post-surgery, if you're pre-surgery, if you're years post-op and still don't have one, get one.
I have
get one now.
The damn, whether it's Amazon, Canadian Tire, whenever it's on sale, I open it, I look at it, I leave it open for like 2 days. I continually look at it. And then I always... I can't pull the trigger and do it, but then every time I talk to somebody, they're like, "Oh my god, it's the best thing I've ever bought."
I'll sell you mine because I'm literally.
You want the fancy one? Of course you do.
Yes, I know, it's so bad. I know I sound like such an asshole, but I'll sell you mine because there's a new Ninja Creami that makes. So this is the Ninja Creami with the soft serve attachment. I shit you not. So you can make your Ninja Creami, but then also it acts as a soft serve machine.
Oh my god!
Where and I know I'm just paying for like gimmicks to make soft serve ice cream, but ice cream is so big for me. It's like one of my favorite things in the whole world. I literally live for ice cream.
It literally has like a soft serve. Like looks like you're at Dairy Queen with the handle and everything.
So I'll sell
Shut up.
I'll sell you my Creami because I have the first generation Creami. Yeah. So like I don't have this fancy second generation one.
I don't even know the difference.
Well, this one was more like a knob, and I don't know. I think it's quieter. I will say the Ninja Creami sounds like a space station in your kitchen. She's not quiet. If you live in a condo, like
maybe not a good idea.
The neighbors probably hate me, but also don't care. I'll sell you my Ninja Creami because I'm definitely probably going to buy the soft serve one. But I can't stress enough how great this was for me post bariatric surgery. I like ice cream. Even if you don't like ice cream, sweet treats are something that you will crave. But the ability to literally take a Fairlife protein shake, freeze it, and then make it into ice cream. And it's not even bad ice cream. Like, I don't know how the Ninja Creami does it, but like it's creamy. It's creamy like ice cream. And all I did was freeze a Fairlife shake. I have since experimented with so many recipes. So like, sorry, that was my dog. But I have the sugar, you've heard me say it before, the sugar-free cream cheese pudding.
Yeah.
I will mix that in with a Ninja Creami, or I'll do cottage cheese with the Greek yogurt with the pistachio sugar-free pudding. Okay. There's like a million high protein recipes, and some of these pints of ice cream are like 200 calories and 40 grams of protein. And it's good. It hits that.
Right.
It hits that.
The sweet tooth, the I had a treat makes you feel
so good.
Like you're cheating, but you're not.
My only criticism is it doesn't really do well a couple days later. Like you have to re-blend it if you want to eat it again later. So like for me, there is definitely a few times where I was like, I'm just throwing this pint out. Like it's not great.
So don't make more than you.
Well, you have no choice but to make a full pint each time. But like,
I mean, don't make like 4.
Yeah, we're bariatric patients. We're used to throwing shit out. Okay, like we are definitely not helping.
So I just pawn it off on my family.
Yeah, here you go. Eat, children. I know. I need to get a husband that can eat this stuff with me.
Eat this, kids.
Yeah, that's, you know what? We should do another dating episode.
Like, we should.
It hasn't been going anywhere, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. But yeah, Ninja Creami, I absolutely recommend it. No, you don't need the soft serve one. I just really, really want the soft serve one. the ice cream is as good as it says. It's as good as it tastes. No, it is not like a regular ice cream machine. It's not the same. This does not require you to make ice cream. Other ice cream machines require you to make that cream, sugar, egg base.
The base.
This will turn anything. When they say anything, if you get the can of pineapple and freeze that, you can make pineapple sorbet.
Now you need to freeze it like the day before.
Yes,
right?
there's no
So
there's no instant ice cream here. You gotta do it the day before. But like literally the frozen vegetables, whipping it into a sorbet.
Frozen fruit.
Oh yeah, for fruit, Jesus, vegetables.
Green bean sorbet.
Love it. I mean, avocado ice cream is a thing.
Okay, it is.
I guess avocados are fruit, so never mind.
Okay, maybe we have to join the bandwagon.
Oh my God. Again, I'm telling you, you can have mine because when I move, I'm not taking it with me, but I will buy the new one. So that's another one of my essentials.
Okay. I just because I'm looking at it. For me, it's a Stanley or some form of Stanley. So Hannah mentioned in another episode that we're actually recording together right now, which is pretty nice.
Oh God.
And I was gonna post from the car. I do a story I forgot. And I was gonna say, tell me you're on a bariatric road trip without telling me, because I had I have my protein coffee in my one Stanley. I've got my flavored water in my other Stanley. And then I almost brought my probiotic drink that I didn't finish in my third little Stanley.
I love it.
Because I have multiple size Stanleys, and I'm just a Stanley slut. So it could be a Yeti, it could be a Stanley, but some form of insulated cup. For me, we've talked about this. Hannah and I break the rules. We use a straw. It is what it is.
No shame in my game.
The thing that I like about the Stanley that I use for my water is it's the Stanley. I have a 30 ounce and a 40 ounce. And then I have a 64 ounce, the big mother. But the thing that I like about them is it has the flip top with the straw attached.
Yes.
And that will hold. I have noticed it holds the water in place, so you don't get as much air as a standard straw.
Yes.
So if you ever if you have one and you unscrew it, look at your straw when you take your lid off. There's liquid in your straw. So I find the Stanley's really good for not getting extra air in there. But anyway, whether it's a Yeti, whether it's a Stanley, some sort of insulated that will keep my water cold. I don't like warm water. I am a cold water person.
Oh my God, me too.
That heads up, that may also change post-surgery. Some people can't have cold water. Some people can't have warm water. So that could change for you. But yeah, I'm a cold water person. So I need that, because if I don't have the water in front of me, I will not drink it.
Same.
If I am expected to go refill an 8 ounce cup over and over again, it's not going to happen.
Nope.
So some people will get those big jugs that have like the time of the day in dashes down the side. Those work great too. They just don't really stay cold. But some sort of insulated water cup, container, whatever you want to call it, for me is an absolute must have. I cannot be without it.
Yep. It's funny because when you showed up, I was like, well, shit, we have the same Stanley and we can't get them mixed up. I prefer, and I don't know the name of it, but I prefer the one that we just bought that has
it might have the name on it.
The Stanley that
has the carrier handle on the top.
Now, I know people like the cups. I don't like the cups because there's a ton of mold that does get stuck in the lid.
You gotta wash that shit.
You gotta like pop
It is the classic flip straw tumbler.
Okay, so that is what I recommend from Stanley. There is no plastic. There's no mold growth in that one. It holds a lot. I love the carrying handle. It's great. I don't like the cups. I've had a cup. I had work give us a cup for free. And I've already thrown it. Like I had to throw it away because when I learned about the mold issue with the cups, I obviously was like, this is too much work to clean, having to snap everything apart and clean it. I find the other one way easier to keep clean. It holds everything really cool. I have a Stanley thermos as well. And I love my thermos. That's a great one too, because if you're going on a road trip, I recommend. Now you don't need Stanley. Again, we're not sponsored.
There's Yeti. There's no
Stanley
names.
would like
Hydro
to.
Flask.
Wink, wink. Winners. Go to Winners and get the Hydro Peak, which is the knockoff Hydro Flask, the knockoff Stanley.
There's Swell. There's so many.
They're cheap as hell. They're great. I have a bunch of those too. But the point is, like, get yourself whatever it is that's going to make you drink. If you need the Bubba, if you need the cup, if you need other things. Bo is just sucking up for attention right now in the middle of this podcast, which is great. But yeah, go and get the cups. I also recommend that. I drink more with the cup. If it's not in front of me, it's not going to happen. And it needs to be something that I can lug and take everywhere that I go. So I recommend that for sure. This is going to be a weird one. And then I promise we'll recommend non-food related items. An ice machine. I was kind of like, for a while, thought about wanting one. Now I know people are like, just put ice cubes in the freezer. Yeah, I did have ice cube trays in there. Then yeah, you got to refill them. And like, I don't know, there's something about the ice cube trays that just weren't working for me. So I got an ice machine. It was on Amazon. It was like 100 and something bucks. I use it and empty it daily. Like I have to refill that ice machine every damn day. The ease at which I can just make a quick iced coffee, then fill my water and fill my water again and go have another like,
especially if you're the cold water kind of
yes, I am like just rolling through liquid now because of that ice machine. And I have to say, like,
I have to look at which one you have because I bought one. So same thing. We had an ice maker on our last fridge. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of this ridiculous fridge that was in the house when we bought it, which is this fridge that finally broke, but it had an ice maker, but we never used it. And so the freezer was also shit. It was a tiny little freezer. Yeah. And so I bought the countertop ice maker. And I don't know if I just, again, because I'm cheap sometimes, I don't know if I bought a crappy one. But the one I bought, the ice, if you didn't use it right away, like it melted really quickly.
Yep.
And it got so moldy inside so fast.
Ew.
Yeah. So and it was a pain to wash. So I used it for a couple months because same thing, I always wanted ice.
Yeah.
And always having the ice cube trays in the freezer was a pain. The kids would empty them, not refill them. So I loved it. And I was actually really sad. It's in the garage now because I would have to clean it every like other day. It would get moldy and it was such a pain to clean. So I think I just bought a shitty one. But I will say, like, yeah, having the ice on hand all the time,
right?
Such a huge difference. And now I'm back to the ice cube trays. And I literally this morning, same thing, went to open it and there was no damn ice because my kids emptied the tray and didn't refill it.
Right.
So I do miss having the ice maker on the counter 100%.
Yep.
I just drink way more water if it's cold.
I drink way more. I don't remember which one I brought. I mean, the brand name is on it. I just can't see it from here because I'm blind as heck. But I did get it off Amazon. I haven't experienced any mold issues.
Good. It's Frigidaire.
Okay, there you go. Frigidaire. It's great. I haven't had any issues with it. I do recommend that one. Non-food related.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, what do you call them now? I can't even think about resistance bands, like for exercising. So
yes,
I talked about this. Yeah, I talked about this the other day on the podcast about how we were talking about exercise and working out, and I said how people overcomplicate it and are like, I don't have time to exercise. I can't exercise. I'm not in good enough shape to exercise. Get yourself resistance bands. I have, oh my gosh, probably 3 or 4 packages of them. I have 2 different types of them that are downstairs in the workout room. And then I have 2 sets of them in my office. Again, different kinds. Yep. I have the flat bands. And then I also have the ones that kind of, I don't know how to describe it. They kind of look like skipping ropes. They're thicker though. And they have handles on either end. And so you can attach them to things and pull whatever. They're however you want to explain them.
They're like they're cylindrical versus flat.
Yeah, it looks like a skipping rope with handles.
Yeah.
So I have different kinds, but the amount of times where if you're watching TV, if you're working and you're on a call, if you're doing stuff around the kitchen, the amount of times that you'd be shocked how easy it is to work in resistance band work
100%.
Into your day.
100%.
Whether, like I said, if you're doing stuff in the kitchen and you're prepping, you could put resistance bands on and do some leg lifts or do some squats it sounds crazy, but it's such an easy way to get some movement in, especially when you're starting out, especially when you're not allowed to really lift yet, but you want to get some movement in. Do some easy resistance band work. So like I said, I have them at my desk. I have them in my office. I have them in the workout room. And they come in little bags. You can easily store them on a bookshelf or wherever it may be. They're fairly cheap.
Yeah. They're very inexpensive.
Yeah.
They're
so
great.
that I think is such an easy way to work in a little bit of movement. And you can get a killer workout in with resistance.
Oh yeah,
bands.
They're in my program that I just
Same with me. And like, can I tell you, my arms are on fire?
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, is this how you're supposed to be using resistance bands?
Right.
Shit.
So that is definitely
an essential.
I
would say, on that same vein, a walking pad.
I gotta use mine more.
Is it essential? I honestly found it to be great in the early stages when you're trying to get those steps in, and maybe you don't live in a place where you can go for a big walk.
Or the weather's, if it's winter,
or the weather's bad. I put it under my desk at work, and I would use it while working. Yep. And there are people who are going to be like, Were you on calls when you were on it? Yeah, absolutely. If you set it to a low enough speed, it's not that noticeable when you're on a call. Like, you're not supposed to be like, and then anyway, like, you're just
arms pumping on the
you're
camera.
walking, and it was totally fine. I would make sure that my laptop was up high enough. I didn't have a standing desk, but I got something that goes on the desk that lifts your laptop up. And I was easily able to do some typing and respond to some messages while walking on this walking pad.
Or while you're watching TV.
Yeah, watching TV, playing video games, like on a call with friends. I found in the first year I used that walking pad every single day. The only reason I don't have it now is I gave it to a good friend who needed it because I was moving my exercise outdoors. But I definitely would say a walking pad, a thin little one that can slide under a desk or under your couch and be used here and there. I think it's awesome to have a walking pad, especially in the early days of surgery.
Yep.
When, maybe it's too hot to be outside or the weather sucks, or you're just trying to really fit your steps in. And you have to work, you have to do other things. You don't have the ability to walk for 6 hours a day outside. So that one's one that I recommend.
That's a good one.
I
need to use mine more.
Shapewear is essential for me. So basically just because of the loose skin, I have shapewear. So it's not, for me, it's not a make me look thinner thing. It's a please smooth out all the loose skin that I have going on. Great, thank you. So I actually now like shapewear because it's not cutting into me and super hard to put on and restrictive. It's almost just
like sausage casing.
Right. And I kind of I like wearing it now. Like, I really enjoy having it on. So I have shapewear because of the loose skin. It really just kind of helps hold everything in and just makes me feel a little bit more confident. But you don't need it right after surgery because you want to let your stomach heal. You do not need one of those waist trainers.
Oh gosh, no, please
don't
wear
need that after surgery. I don't know.
Fahas or something.
I don't know why that's recommended on social channels.
Don't do it.
You don't need it at all. Let your stomach heal. But I'd say, maybe 6 months post-op, start looking at some shapewear. It really helps with the loose skin. It kind of pulls everything in, which is nice. It's a little extra support, but I love my shapewear.
Yeah, and I would say definitely wait because your body's going to change so quickly in the first little while. So and we've talked about that just even with clothing, like don't buy a lot of stuff at the beginning because your body will change drastically really quick. But like I just bought one of those like t-shirt dresses. It's actually in my bag over there. T-shirt dresses from Old Navy.
I'm wearing one right now.
Still, I have we'll talk about loose skin. But there's certain areas where right now, the way that my body is changing, I have more loose skin than other areas. And some areas where I know I'm just going to have loose skin. That's the way it's going to be. So I bought some, I call them like sucker inner shorts, but not like, I compare it to like when I used to put Spanx on and I would say to Devin, I feel like I'm going into sausage casing and I would be sweating. Putting it on.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
No, I remember getting dressed and you'd put your Spanx on and then I would have to lay on the bed under the fan because I'd literally be sweating.
Oh, it was just the worst feeling.
That's not what we're talking about. They're just smooth. I would say they're more smoothing than anything.
I was this is what they're supposed to feel like?
Right?
Shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I bought a pair and I wear them under the t-shirt dress, for example, just because I don't want it to necessarily stick to certain areas.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I think for me, and I have an Apple Watch. I know we talked about Garmin. I looked at Garmin for a long time too, but some sort of tracker. And again, it's not because it's accurate in terms of calories and that kind of thing. I'm not using it for that. I'm a visual person. So I talked about my Stanley and having the water and having that visual aspect. Same with my FitnessPal and tracking. For me, it's visual. But I love having my Apple Watch because I'm one of those people where I want to close my rings, but it's a visual, right? It's did I get my movement in today?
Yeah.
Did I walk around enough? Did I stand up enough?
Yep.
Oh gosh, my movement circle. Yeah, my movement circle's only half closed and it's 7:00. I should probably go walk around the kitchen or whatever a few times. So for me, it's some sort of tracking method for movement.
Yeah.
I need the visual.
There's this really cool thing on Etsy. I don't remember where, but people do there's a tracker you can print every year that this person makes that has
a paper tracker.
Yeah, it's got every month listed and then every day is broken. So they'll say January and then throughout the lettering, it will break it into every day in January. And then what you do is you color code 1K is yellow, 2 to 5K is pink, 5 to 6 is whatever. And then each day you just color in
what you did,
however far you did your movement. Nice. And then at the end of the year, you have this cool thing on your wall. That's
kind of cool.
I'll try to remember to share it, but that's a cool way to track it. If you don't want one of these wrist trackers is this really cool printout of every month of the year broken down into every day. And then every day you just do a different color to represent how much movement did
That's
you
a
do
cool
that
thing
day.
to have at the end of the year. Like if you do really well and that's a big accomplishment, that'd be cool to like put up somewhere.
And you could do whatever you want. Break it down by minutes done, hours done, distance done, whatever you want to do.
That's cool.
But that's a cool tracker. But I agree with Steph. Some way to visually see the changes, the difference, to just inspire you to keep going. So I think those are some of our essentials. There's probably a million more that we can't think of off the top of our head, but that's just kind of some of the key ones that are not food. Some of them are food related, but not food, that like we found really important for bariatric success or just like our own personal happiness and success after surgery. But we want to hear like, what are you guys buying? What do you think? Are there things that you want us to review or look into? Like send it our way and we're happy to take a look at reviewing it, or if we've used it, tell you why we like it or we don't like it. But we want to hear from you guys. Tell us on social, like what are some of your essentials or essentials you've heard that you need to buy? But yeah, like always, Steph, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. And to all of our listeners, thank you so much for following along.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.